2 years ago, union leaders sat down with Newtown Public Schools teachers and support staff days after the tragic attack on Sandy Hook School. 2 years later, leaders took time to hear from union members who survived one of the deadliest school shootings in U.S. history. Following private meetings with teachers and support staff from Sandy Hook, they shared some of what they heard.
We talked, Tom and Steve and myself and our colleagues from Newtown, a few months ago about how we can make sure that the national and the state union are a continuing presence and support to a community that still has been shook to its core because of what happened at Sandy Hook Elementary School almost 2 years ago.
I would first like to extend a warm felt thank you to both the AFT Connecticut and the AFT National for their unyielding support since the tragic events of 12/14. Right from this outset, I had both the Connecticut AFT and the National AFT here to help our community of educators, of paraprofessionals, of custodians, of secretaries, of all the members of our school community in any way that they could. And I can tell you that their support has really been a cornerstone to the healing that we have experienced up to this point. But like what has been said, and the clear message that I've gotten from my membership is that there's concern, obviously, about the long-term health of our community as we continue through our recovery, which is not going to, who knows when that would ever be complete, but certainly in the early stages, which we are still in, it's an obvious concern.
We really need to make sure that we're putting the tools and the resources into the long-term healing. Grants are great, but grants run out. We need to make sure that we're going to continue to do this. The mental health aspects, the post-traumatic stress that a lot of these people are feeling, the teachers constantly are putting themselves second because they want to make sure their children are being cared for. But now they're asking themselves, when is it okay for me to heal? When is it okay for me to move on? And we need to make sure that we provide them with the mental health resources that they need in order to get through this so that they can continue to teach, so that they can continue to provide the education for not only the children now, but those coming up in the future.
I think our most important meeting today was the one we just finished, which was talking to teachers, sometimes on a one-to-one basis, who have still, who find our union safe enough that we had real conversations, honest conversations about what needs to happen to move forward. Now, things are hugely different today than obviously what happened 2 years ago. But at the end of the day, we need to make sure that students, their families, and teachers have the supports they need on a long-term basis to ensure that they can lead productive lives.
National and state union leaders then met with local leadership representing Newtown's public education professionals at the high school.
As you recall, back in June of last year, the AFT National reached out to the Newtown community upon learning that there was going to be a memorial to fallen educators unveiled in Kansas at Emporia, the Emporia campus of Kansas State University. And myself and Lisa Frasola, who was a good friend of Vicky Soto's, representing the Sandy Hook teachers, we went out there together and had the honor of representing all of you at Newtown in the unveiling of this memorial. And Tish, you're amazing. She had the idea at the time that it was unveiled, after we had gotten pictures and everybody laid flowers at the bottom of the memorial and the names were recognized and read. She said, wouldn't it be a great idea to do a rubbing of the names of the individuals from Newtown? And that's what she did. And then she put together this creative display celebrating that memorial service. And I want to thank you personally for doing that.
You're welcome.
Going through Sandy Hook School today, seeing how things are going. Randy said it very well. If you didn't know what happened and you walked in that school, you wouldn't know anything happened. And that just speaks to character of this community and what you guys have had to do for the last 2 years to put yourselves back together and to put it out there for the children.
It takes a day like today to kind of, at least for me, to kind of take a step back and say, oh my God, I'm the luckiest person on earth because I get to represent one and who you are and what you do. And not just what you did on December 14th, 2012, but what you do every single day. And that is an amazing job to have.
Union leaders and members concluded the evening at the regular meeting of the Newtown Board of Education, where the collage memorializing Sandy Hook's fallen educators was presented.
I'd like to introduce members of the community. First of all, I'd like to bring up Lisa Fasola, who is an educator at Sandy Hook, okay? And she was the person who was accompanying me at the unveiling of the memorial, and she had the difficult task of reading the names as they were placing flowers at the base of the memorial for each of our educators here in Newtown.
Dawn Hochsprung, Mary Sherlock, Victoria Soda, Rachel Davino, Anne Marie Murphy, and Lauren Russo.
I remember being here a couple of days after that horrible day. I remember being here in January of 13, and to be here today and to see the start of the healing is really tremendous. And so I just, as we dedicate this, and hopefully you as a community will have this piece of art as both a recollection and a remembrance and as a way to move forward. That's what we hope, that's what we pray. And we just want to say thank you for this opportunity to be before you, and thank you in advance for the things I know you will do to help both the kids and the staff continue the healing in all of Newtown and in Sandy Hook particularly. Thank you very much.